Good morning, it's Carl here from Triple Helix, and today we're at Chessington World of Adventures. I'm starting the vlog off from an unusual place. I don't know whether you can see behind me, but we have, oops, let's turn the camera around, we've got a blood river. How come Alton Towers can't manage a blood river on Nemesis, but they can here? So I'm in front of Vampire, which is a suspended coaster, originally an Arrow construction but now retrofitted with Vekoma trains. We've just been on that coaster, I'll come back to that in a moment. I just want to mention a few things about Chessington itself, because this is the first time we've ever been. Coming in, the car park's £3, which is quite cheap actually when you compare that with £7 for Thorpe, and I think it's now £7 at Towers as well, although it's free of course if you're a Merlin premium pass holder, which we're not this year. Then as you enter the park's a beautiful looking park, really nicely set out. A couple of gripes and pros and cons. It's very difficult to find guest services where you get the disabled band. It's not very well set out, it's nowhere near the main entrance, so you have to wander around aimlessly for a while until you find somebody to ask and get direction. So that's a bit of a bad point. But once you get there, operations are really quick. It's not like the box office at Towers where you can be stuck there up to 45 minutes waiting for a disabled wristband. These process you really quickly, so that's a big pro. So that undoes the negative of finding the place. Then, as we noticed coming in, there's actual vegan stroke vegetarian, I think it's the other way round, restaurant. And that's very unusual to find in a theme park. Nothing like that at Towers, although there's the odd vegan meal that you can get. But to have a restaurant devoted to that, I've seen that only one other place, and that's at Liseberg in Sweden. So top marks to Liseberg and to Chessington for that, because it's a real pain in the backside trying to find somewhere for a vegan to eat if everybody else in the family is not vegan. Okay, so we started off on Vampire. I'll show you that in a moment. As I said, it's an Arrow retrofitted with Vekoma seats. To be honest, it's quite pants. It's a really poor coaster. It sways you around a bit, you go through the tree line, that's a little bit fun, but it's really a kiddie coaster in my opinion. There's no airtime, no laterals, no nothing to make it feel like you've been on a good coaster. There's 2 lift hills on it. As I say, other than twists, turns and swaying around, it really is a poor coaster, not one of the worst ones I've ever been on, if I'm being honest, but the people that were on it seem to scream and whoop and love it, so maybe it's just what they need for a family ride here. So now I'll try and show you some pictures as I walk up towards where I've left the kids putting on the suntan cream. It's really baking hot day. I suspect it's about 30 plus here. One of the other good things they've got here is like those Coca-Cola freestyle machines we saw at Thorpe. I mentioned in the Alton Towers vlog that that's a bit of a negative that Towers haven't gone over to that system, because you end up stuck in very long queues with people wanting food when all you want is a quick refill. And the way it's done in Universal with cups with microchips in that can process you really quickly, you have a much greater choice in drinks and ice and everything, and you're not messing about with money. Okay, let's have a look at the surroundings. So here we've got the Vampire track overhead. Hopefully the train will come shooting past in a minute. One of the things that, another bugbear, is the operations on this are really slow. To dispatch a train takes forever it seems. Although again, coming back to the disabled point of view, you were on the train fairly quickly. You didn't have to hang about in a queue too long, so that's a very plus point. It's sod's law that when you point the camera the train just go past. Here we are, it's just, no. I will try and get you that footage. So another look at the Blood River. So come on Towers, get your act together and get that Blood River going on Nemesis again. I love the theming on this ride, even if the ride itself is pants. We've got a couple of coffins for photo opportunities there, quite morbid, but if you like that sort of thing. And then we've got the gate, the Vampire on, and inside the ride's quite well themed as well. Just looking through the arches here, all very Gothic style I guess. Still no train to film. Why does it always happen to me? I hear the train. So you can see it twists and turns, but doesn't do a lot else. I'll just take you through the arches and show you what's through here. So the vampire trap runs overhead. And over in the distance ahead of you, you can see the Gruffalo River Ride Adventure. That's an indoor dark ride. Probably something that we'll see at Towers to replace Charlie and the Chocolate Factory eventually. I can see that happening there. One thing I really do like about Vampire is it takes you through the tree line, a bit like 13 does at Alton Towers. I think that adds a bit of effect to the ride. Nothing much to film here, so I'll carry on. I might end up cutting this out of the vlog. So I'm back with the kids now. I'll just see if I can get some reactions. If I don't get any good reactions, I'll cut this clip out. So, reactions. What do you think of Vampire?
It's good, but I just don't think it's fast enough.
So it's good, but not fast enough. Okay. What about the theming? Did you like the theming?
It's okay, but there's not much to it.
You didn't like the vampires and the...
It's just a bit for kids.
Okay. Any reaction from Zach? I think that actually says it all, to be honest. That was my thoughts of the ride too. I'll leave it there. So we've just been on a couple of Merlin-owned rides, if that's how you pronounce it. We've been on Rattlesnake, which is a small wild mouse type coaster. That's okay, it's not the best ride in the world, but get a few thrills out of it. Nice short, small footprint. The noise you can hear behind me is due to the lift hill and what is our favourite so far, which is Dragon's Fury. It's very much like Sonic Spinner, what do you call it? Spinball Wizard is what it's called. Revert back to, as I say, it's a Merlin-owned spinning coaster. It's a great ride. It's a very long footprint, I think. It's exactly the sort of ride I think we should get at Blackpool Pleasure in Cheltenham car park behind the Bowlerdrome. I'd love to see that. Lots of screams on it. It's a nice first drop, a twisted first drop, and then it goes straight into a twisted Immelman loop. So we'll show you a little bit of footage of that in a moment. Just another little walkthrough of this area. It's an interesting Cobra's head structure there. Reminds me a bit of Cobra's curse. So we'll have a look at this ride. It's really well themed, this. It reminds me a little bit of Busch Gardens when you first come into Busch Gardens. I know it's not quite that level of theming, but it's pretty good. So what we've got here is an Avatar style ride, Avatar being that Blackpool ride. But it's a bit more interesting because there's a hump in the middle. I think we'll get on that next, see what that's like. And then we've got Temple of Mayhem over there. Not sure what that is. And then over here we've got Tuk Tuk Turmoil, which is just standard dodgems, just re-themed. Let's have another look at some theming over here. Monkey Swinger, that's another Magic Mushroom style ride, another thing that Towers has had standing but not operating for nearly 2 years now. I don't know what's going on there, but there's a rumour that it might reopen in the 2019 season. Let's hope that that's right. Oh, we might just catch this ride going. So to all intents and purposes it looks like standard Avatar, not quite as tall, but it's got this interesting hump in the middle. Looks to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to try it. building up that kinetic energy. And maybe the next time. Just enough to overcome that potential barrier and get down the next bit. Don't know, I think I prefer Avatar, just looking at that. It gets to a better height, more thrilling ride in the Blackpool, whipping wind and rain. You can't beat it. This looks like some sort of fun house actually, Temple of Mayhem. Soft play area type of thing. Not really sure.
So we can also use things like perfumes, aftershave, deodorants, human smells that may not have encountered before, just replicating things that are foreign to them, walking through their territory, leaving smells behind. We can also go over to our safari area, from that ride there on safari adventure tracks. You would have seen some things like the giraffe, the rhinos, the zebra, other hoofstock animals as well. We can bring all their bedding up in enclosures here, some of their food, or even some of their wee. And we can spread it around in enclosures so they can't leave those natural prey.
Right, so we've just stopped for some lunch, a bit of a late lunch, and we're trying out the vegan stroke vegetarian restaurant called, well, takeaway called Knock Dogs. So she's got a, what's it called? A plain Jane, I think, which is a corn-based sausage, I'm guessing, tomato sauce and mustard on. And then as a side dish, we've got knock chicken nuggets, and then a drink. So it's not bad now. We're just chilling after a bit of food, and I thought I'd just give you a bit of feedback on the 3 flat rides we went on that I showed you earlier on. So we went on Cobra, which was like Avatar Airbender at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, except it has that hump in the middle. It actually rode a lot better than it looked off camera, because remember I said it looked a bit pants off camera, but it's more thrilling once you're actually on it, so that's good. Then we went on the treetop swinger, mushroom type of ride. That's fantastic actually. It's not your usual mushroom ride like at Towers. It adds the extra thrill of you getting squirted by these water jets that are all placed all around it, and we got all soaked, absolutely soaked on that. But on a day like this, that's exactly what you want. I wish they had that at Towers when they refreshed the mushroom ride, so that was great. And then after that we went on the dodgems. Well, it's just standard dodgems, it was okay, length of the ride fine, but probably too many cars on the track to make it exciting. But still a decent flat ride. Then of course we've come for lunch, talked about the vegan options, that's great. Now I want to finish on a negative before we move on to the animals. What's the negative? The real beef I've got here is with catering. It's always catering, and the drinks are just terrible. You go in there for a drink, a refill, 75p, not bad you say, but the actual stuff you get, it's just fizzy water with a bit of, these days, no sugar in it, thanks to Jamie Oliver. It's just garbage. It's not even cold, there's no ice. On a day like this, you'd normally pay £3 for that. £3 for a bit of warm fizzy water. It's disgraceful when you've got Coca-Cola freestyle machines that deliver 30, 40 different choices with ice cold as well, even if you don't get the ice in a microchip cup. Why the hell can't Merlin invest in some technology and get that in its parks? It's what we want. We don't want to be queuing up for ages for this fizzy, flavourless crap that we get and paying £3 or more for it. So come on Merlin, get your act together and get these Coca-Cola freestyle machines. Alright, I'll leave it for now. We're going to see some animals. We'll take some more footage of the animals because we're running out of time. Another bugbear, the park shuts at 5. Great day like this, closes at 5. Why? Don't know. Okay, let's go and see the animals, see if we can get a bit more upbeat.
Then move again. Really? No, you're just gonna go by you. Right, you left. He doesn't like him.
Hello, gorilla. What's it eating? What a mess. What a mess, gorilla. Gorilla bone. So cute.
So we're just here to film some sea lions. We've got the last hour of the park. Been on another 3 flat rides, and we're just going to film some sea lions, then we'll see what else there is in the zoo part of the park. Whilst we're watching the sea lions, I'll just mention the 3 flats we've been on. So we've been on Toon Blaster. That's a bit like Jewel. It's a dark ride with laser blasters. It's a Mack ride system, so the ride system's ultra smooth. It's nice. It's all Egyptian themed. It's really well themed actually. But what ruins that ride for us is the laser guns are a bit poor. There's slow response and they emit these very large red circles. The targets just take ages to register. And the ride stops from now and again. There might be a mummy or something pop out. And you just seem to be sat there for ages for no apparent reason, and it just makes the whole thing boring. So I think it's a well executed, well themed ride, but they're just let down by the poor laser guns. After that we went on Tiger Rock, so that's a traditional log flume. As you know from my Twitter account, I'm not a great fan of log flumes. This one's not bad actually, they've done a really fantastic job. I haven't actually been on the old version, but I've seen other people's vlogs since they rethemed it to Tiger Rock. It's all around Chinese buildings. It's fantastic. There's a big tiger's face that you come through at the end. The ride itself, it's slick operations, it's continuously moving, you're not standing around in a queue too long. There's a small drop followed by a large drop. And the great thing about this is you get moist, lots of spray, but you don't get soaked, because to me a soaking can ruin your whole day. If it's not a hot day, it takes you ages to dry off, you might not have the right clothes on, and it's ruined your day. So that ride gets absolutely spot on. And then finally we went on the Gruffalo. This is a fairly recent ride, I think the last 2 years it came here. Indoor dark ride, brilliantly themed around Julia Donaldson's The Gruffalo. There's projection mapped images, panel images, lots of painted wooden scenery. There's a couple of what I'd describe as water vortices, which unlike Valhalla at Blackpool doesn't end up soaking you, it just gets you nice and moist. There's a small drop even. It's just a great, well executed family ride. Something that you need to praise Merlin for actually, and to me that's the ride system that we should have to replace Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Another ride that's been annoyingly SPNO for 3 years maybe. So why don't they just replace it with something like that? Okay, so back to the sea lions. It's a bit sad really to see animals in such a small enclosure. I don't like to see it. I'm not a great fan of zoos, but they seem happy enough.
Oh, very nice! I'm going to do this dance now then. I thought Flossie was what you did when you clinked your teeth. There you go, right? Give my husband a massive round of applause, you two. You can go back to your seats. Well, give him a massive round of applause. Oh, wait, hold on. I always reward those who help me. You can be with friends for life, you're welcome. You can have that for free. Did you guys hear something? Oh, you lot, you're on your own. This is a one-man tent.
Aha! Treasure hunters. I knew it. I was studying the Panda family that live in the temple, and then there was an explosion. So come on, own up. Whose idea was it? Was it you? No? Well, but what about you? Well, if it wasn't any of you, who did do it? Ah, she's in the tent, is she? Well, I'm going to give her a piece of my mind. Come here, you silly little treasure hunter. What do you think you're doing?
I love that you can go round when it
It's a funny dog, isn't it? It's a funny dog, isn't it?
Right, we've come to the end of a fun day at Chessington World of Adventures. Favourite moments for us, Tiger Rock, the log flume ride, the Gruffalo's night ride, river adventure, whatever you want to call it. That was a really good ride. And favourite thrill ride, if you call it a thrill ride, is Dragon's Fury, the Sonic Spinner style, more a stone ride. It's not really a park for coaster enthusiasts. If you're a coaster enthusiast, it's not a park you would go out of your way to come to, but being Merlin annual pass holders, we were down here anyway for Thorpe, I thought we might as well come. It's a nice park, don't get me wrong, but certainly not somewhere you come as a coaster enthusiast. Nice family day out, it's got a zoo, not an extensive zoo, but it's still a nice zoo. It's really well themed and there's lots of nice flat rides. Any more comments to add? Any more favourites for you?
I like seeing the animals like the pigs.
The petting zoo. Yeah, it's got a nice little petting farm at the end for children. Anything else? No, none of the coaster thrill rides are very thrilling, so that's a bit of a letdown. Alright, I think we'll wrap it up there, so our next vlog will probably be either Flamingo Land or Fantasia Land out in Germany, so see you till next time.